In my last video, we looked at the screenplay to Creed as a good example of how to write man-on-man action. Now we're going to look at how Tony Gilroy and William Blake Herron tackled action in the Bourne Identity. So we're going to be looking at the Parish draft of the Bourne Identity, which was written in September of 2000, and I've seen a lot of different drafts and versions of this script floating around, but I think this was pretty close to the shooting script that they had when they made the movie. So let's go through it. The kitchen. Bourne moving to the sink. He's smiling, upbeat, but it's an act. His eyes are everywhere, turning on the water but ignoring it. What he's really doing is searching out a weapon. Pulling a knife very quietly from behind the stove, holding it, feels pretty comfortable, hiding it down by his side, on the move again. Now, Bourne. Yeah, it's cold in here too, calling to her as he goes. Let's give it another minute. Bourne like we've never seen him, like an animal. Every sound, every breeze, everything carries information. Standing still, taking it all in. Real quick layout. There's big windows along one wall that face out to the street below. The hallway to the bedroom and bath feeds into the living room from one side. There's a large, frosted air shaft window along that hallway wall. Simple furniture. Marie, suddenly, oh my God! She's behind him. What are you? No! Marie backing away, completely freaked. Bourne standing there with the knife in his hand. And Bourne, no, Marie, no, it's not like that. Marie, please, Jason, oh my God. Bourne, quiet. Marie, frightened, confused, paralyzed for a moment. Bourne glancing back, a curtain fluttering behind him. Motioning for Marie to get down. Do it, now, down. Marie, hesitating, and Bourne, what's he doing? He's unscrewing a light bulb from a lamp beside him. And Marie, about to say something, he shakes her off. Bourne, knife in hand, light bulb in the other, putting his foot on a chair in front of him. And Marie, what are you doing? Bourne, waving her to shut up. Crawl, now, back up. Get under the window, go. Marie, he seems so sure. It's weird, but she's doing it. She's under that frosted window, down below the still, looking back. What the fuck is he doing now? Bourne, the light bulb, he's tossing it across the room, over her head, into that frosted window, and as she ducks down, as it shatters, everything starts happening at once. Silenced automatic weapon fire, raking into the apartment, and the frosted window peppered with holes, and Marie on the floor as the window shatters above her. Castell, he's in the air shaft, hanging from an abseal rope, but off ground. Firing blind, strafing the apartment, and Bourne kicking that chair across the room, and Castell reacting, instinct, moving target. The chair just strafed to the side, and Bourne rolling away, and Castell, he's coming in. Last pieces of window frame crashing away as he swings into the apartment, and Marie right below him, shit raining down as he flies in, and Bourne throwing the knife, and Castell turning too late, the knife catching him in the neck, and Bourne in motion, attacking, and Castell, knife impaled in his neck, clawing for it with one hand, trying to get off a shot. An apartment wall, gunfire, tearing wildly through the room. And Bourne, full stop, kicking the gun, kicking it up, rounds tearing across the ceiling. And Marie screaming now, trying to crawl away. And Castell, no chance, off balance. Bourne, his open palm, driving up into Castell's jaw. The body wants to fall backwards, but Bourne has the guy's arm in his free hand, jerking it like a rope, tearing it from its socket, and the gun clattering free across the floor, and Bourne, his knee like a piston, hard into Castell's gut, and then down, his foot, down into Castell's knee, shattering it. And Castell is on the floor, stunned, wiped. Knife pouring blood from his neck, arm hanging like a rag doll, bone torn through his pant leg above the knee, and Marie, oh my God, what are you doing? What are you doing? Incoherent fear and confusion, German and English. What is he? What have you? Oh my God, what is this? Bourne ignoring her, grabbing the guy's backpack. Marie, what are you doing? Jason, please tell me what's happening. Bourne, open it, tossing Castell's backpack behind him. Do it. What's he got in there? Castell, eyes wild, tries to make his feet. Bourne, who are you? Kicking him down. Who are you? Castell, crab-like against a wall, bloody hands leaving a mess as he struggles to get to his feet. Bourne, who are you? Tell me who you are. Who sent you? Bearing down. What is this about? You gotta tell me what this is about. Castell, staring back, eyes wild, mouth shut, his expression, is it terror or pure steel? Bourne, why are you trying to kill me? Marie, suddenly from behind, oh my God, no! Marie, the guy's backpack, something in her hand, and as freaked out as she was a moment ago, this is worse. Bourne, what? Wait, attention split, what is it? Marie, this is my picture. He's got my picture, holding it up in horror. This is me. This is Zurich. This is yesterday. Bourne, just Marie, where does this come from? to Castell. How do you have my picture? Bourne, Marie just waving her back. Just stay there. Just Marie. He's got my picture. This is yesterday. This is me. Out of control now. Where did you get my picture? Bourne, let me do this, okay? Marie, do what? What are you doing? He's got my picture. Just apoplectic. My God, look at him. He's bleeding to death. My picture, look, he was trying to kill us. Oh my God. Now there's a knocking at the door, and the concierge, muffled but urgent. Mr. Bourne, what's going on? Is everything all right in there? She keeps banging, and Marie is past the point of rationality, and Castell is bleeding and shaking, and Bourne is trying to think, and it's just impossible. And suddenly, Castell is moving, and fast. It's superhuman, unbelievable. Just enough spring in his good leg, and Bourne bracing himself, but Castell isn't attacking. He's running away. He's crossing the living room. But there's nowhere to go, absolutely nowhere except the window. Castell hurling himself into the glass. And exterior, the Paris apartment building, day. Window shattering. Castell in a cloud of broken glass, 60 feet above the street. Falling and impact, landing on the roof of a parked car. Okay, that was exciting. It was also very choreographed for a screenplay. And we'll get into some of the limitations and some of the problems that I see in the writing of the scene, which are minimal, by the way. But first, let's compare it to what actually ended up on screen. So this is the apartment fight from the movie. And I'll just talk about the differences as we go through it. So we start, he's looking out the window, but she's in the room with him. And all that other stuff is with the light bulb and everything is kind of taken out. And we're going to jump straight into the action. And so he's shooting, and he's immediately grabbed. He shoots the ceiling. All of this happens in the script, but it takes longer. There's more action. This just gets straight into the fight. And here it's close quarters action. It's not immediately disabling to Castell. There's action. There's reaction. Bourne is using his skills in this close hand combat. Marie's function is essentially the same. We've got the knife now. We've escalated. So we have action, reaction, escalation, new action. Action, reaction, escalation. So this is an action scene that not only shows us what Bourne is capable of instinctively, but it's also showing what his enemies are capable of, and we keep cutting back to the audience perspective, which is Marie. Now this bit with the pen, which turns out to be the most iconic part of this scene, was not in the script. So that shows you how the choreography and the stunt work and the direction, the action, all of this stuff comes into play after the script is written, and it's as important, if not more important, than the words on the page. So this I just think is fantastic. I love this sequence. I love him coming up. I love the breaking of the... So all of this that's happening right here, this is what happens immediately in the scene. And in the script, we have a lot more of Marie saying, what's going on, what's happening, oh my God. And it kind of deflates a little bit of the action from the film if that were in there. The rest of this is pretty one-to-one, right? Like it's pretty consistent. Marie sees herself. She sees it's from Zurich. She freaks out, which distracts Bourne. Now his attention is split. All of this comes from the page. And the second that he leaves Castell alone, gives him an opening to get up. I love that line, though. I do this. You don't do this. I think that's a great line. And out the window he goes. Way different scene in the finished film than on the page. Is it better? Is it equal? I mean, I love the action sequence in the movie, but I think reading the action in the script is really well done, and it's a really great read. I think that a spec script or a competition script might be challenging for a reader based purely on stupid rules. But let's look at the script again and kind of see where those failure points are or those stress points are for writers who are trying to advance in competition. Looking back now at the script with critical eyes, there's a lot of show don't tell stuff, and I've spoken about this before. Don't be so strict on yourself with show don't tell that you take that you deflate the scene and you take your voice, your gravy, what you bring to the table as a writer, completely out of the script. So things like, but it's an act. What he's really doing is searching for a weapon. I mean, we would know that by him grabbing a weapon, right? Born like we've never seen him, like an animal. Every sound, every breeze, everything carries information. That is a great way to explain Bourne, but, you know, I think writers can kind of think too hard about how to do this stuff. So where Gilroy says, real quick layout, and then like does this layout of the room, that's a little cute, I think, for readers, modern expectations for readers in competitions. Real quick layout. I think that it's probably safer to just say big windows along one wall, hallway to the bedroom and bath, feeds into the living room from one side. Keep it short, keep it short. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 5-line block, probably split it up into 2 to 3. I've spoken about that before. There's also dashes everywhere. There's dashes in the parenthetical. There's dashes in the dialogue. There's dashes in the action beats. There's dashes everywhere. But there's also an inconsistency because sometimes you have ... or an ellipses, right? So you're moving from dashes to dots, and there's a little inconsistency, and you might get a note that there's just too much dashes and too much explanation, too much choreographing in the scene. But the heart of the formatting here is when you look at the white space and you look at how the action is progressing, it's so easy to follow. And this is such a great kind of technique to borrow from if you're just starting out writing action sequences, because it just makes sense. Anytime somebody does something, it's a new line because it's a new beat of action. And everybody is all caps, even though they've been introduced, because you need it for the action to know where you are. So Marie on the floor, Bourne kicking the chair, Castell reacting, Bourne rolling away, the chair, right? Everything is, it's punctuated because all caps makes you in your head read it that way. The frosted window. So it's drawing your attention almost like an iris would in a visual, in a movie, to what you want the reader to pay attention to. And then even in the larger action blocks, having the dashes break up what's happening, you can see this as if after each dash, you were to make a new action line. It would make this action scene 15 pages long, but man, would it flow, and you just like rip through it. But I think the way that it's done here is really effectively, and I'll just pick out one section here. Castell, no chance. Off balance. Bourne, his open palm driving up into Castell's jaw. The body wants to fall backwards, but Bourne has the guy's arm in his free hand and, jerking like a rope, tearing it from its socket. So it's a block of action, but it's it's beat, and it's exciting to read. If you can get an action scene to be exciting to read, then it's going to be exciting on the screen, whether it gets changed by the stunt coordinator and director or anybody else or not. So what can you learn from this screenplay as a writer? Well, you can't get much better than the Gilroy brothers. Tony scripts for the Bourne films, for Michael Clayton, for Extreme Measures, for Dolores Claiborne even. They're all extremely well written and easy to read. And I'll cover his brother Dan's screenplay for Nightcrawler in a deep dive video at some point in the future, because that's one of the most interesting screenplays that I've ever read. So stay tuned for that. So even with the small changes that I think would be necessary to make this a safer read for modern reader expectations, I think that this is an action sequence that is a great place to start if you're learning how to write action. So I hope you found this entertaining and educational, and if you have any comments, please leave them down below. Next up, we're going to be looking at one more man-on-man fight. It's going to be Tom Cruise versus Superman with a mustache in the bathroom for Mission Impossible Fallout. So I hope you join me for that. Until next page, I'm Matt Weiner, and this is Fade In, a channel dedicated to the art of screenwriting.